Hi everybody, it's Mr. Clark here. So let's practice before our exam. So I have some simplifying rational expressions on the exam. So basically factor and cancel. So you have to know how to factor. So I'll show you how I think. Here I have a multiplication problem. I have x squared minus 6x minus 40 divided by the 3x minus 18 times 3x plus 15 divided by x squared plus 9x plus 20. So the first thing I do is I usually look for simple stuff. So simple stuff are the GCFs. So, there's something simple. It's not an x squared, so what's the most I can take out of those two numbers? Well, that's a 3. So I factored that down here, so that's 3 times the quantity x plus 5. And I look around and go, I can get something easy out of there. I can just take a 3 out of that. So that's 3 times the quantity x minus 6. It's a little more complicated over here, but now I have a quadratic, so this is the way I do it, is I look at the last number. I see there's a plus, so plus means add. So I need two factors of 20 that add to the middle number, which is a positive 9. So I need two factors of 20 that add to 9, and that's 4 plus 5. So if you were going through your factors in your head, you might say, oh, well, 2 times 10 is 20. But 10 plus 2 is 12, and that's not the magic numbers I'm looking for. You've got to make sure that these numbers here add up to the number here, that the signs are right. So I have a positive 4 plus 5. It's a positive 9. So let's go over here to this one. I see a negative 40, so you've got to think that the negative means difference. So I need the difference of two factors is 6. And we'll fix the signs at the end. So I came up with 10 and 4. 10 minus 4 is 6, and 10 times 4 is 40. Just got to get the signs right. So I have minus 10 plus 4 is minus 6. Okay, so it's possible to get the signs wrong on that. Just make sure those two numbers add up to be the number on the middle term. So now what I want to do is cancel. And I'll just switch my pen here just because I'm having fun with this thing. So what cancels here? Well, I can have an x plus 5 cancels. Whoa, that's a big fat pen. I have to change that. And then what else do I have here? I have a x plus 4 cancels. Those guys are gone, right? And then the 3 is gone. Whew, I canceled those. And so what's left? I have the x minus 6, x minus 10 over x minus 6. Okay? Alright. So this is still a work in progress here. Let's go back to my draw. Let's get the highlighter back. Get some nice color here. How about this color? So here we go. We're going to factor and cancel again. So I don't have to do anything for him. He just stays there. So I'm going to look here. I see a positive, so that's two factors of 12 that add to be 7. Well, I can see 3 and 4 fits the bill. If you would try 2 times 6, 2 times 6 is 12, but 2 plus 6 is 8, so that's not going to work. And I got to get the signs right, so anytime there's a plus, everybody's got to have the same sign as the middle term here. So that's minus 3 and minus 4. Let's go over to this one. 2 factors of 24 whose difference, that's a minus, is 5. So you play around with your factors and you see that it's 8 and 3. And I got to make sure I get the signs right, so I need a negative 8 plus 3 is negative 5. And finally the last one, x squared minus 10x plus 21, 2 factors of 21 that add to be 10. So 3 times 7 is 21. 3 plus 7 is 10, and they both have to have a minus sign, so minus 3 minus 7 is minus 10. So we're done with everybody's factored. Looks pretty good. We just got to see if we can cancel that out. Let's try a blue here. How about a skinny pen? Let's see if that works. Right. Okay, well, that one was too skinny. Those cancel. Those cancel. Is that it? I guess that's everything. That's why my answer here has some factors left in it. Okay. Alrighty, so let's keep going. Still working on these pens here to make it look a little more aesthetic. Well, let's just quickly go over this problem here. As you can see, I factored the x squared minus 6x minus 40 into the x minus 10 times x plus 4. GCF in the denominator, I took a 3 out of the 3x minus 18. And I took a 3 out of the x plus 15. Okay? And I factored the denominator of this one into x plus 4, x plus 5. And they canceled out. Everything canceled out, leaving that. Same procedure here. Okay, I canceled out some stuff here. I factored that for you. Alright, so let's try some more. Let's see what I got happening here. Oh, what do you know? Well, get some new ones here. So let's try to get back to the highlighter. Let's give a different, how about this color here? Let's see if I can highlight with that. Alright, so let's factor and cancel. So again, what happened here? It didn't really get much. Let me go get my drawback here. Try that out. Alright, so it's a GCF. I can take a 3 out, so there's that. And I have a GCF up here, so I can take out a 4. 4 times 7 is 28. Keep the minus, so I factor those two. Now I got to do my quadratics. So minus 45, so the minus says the difference, so I need 2 factors of 45 whose difference is 4 here. Well, let's see, then I got 9 and 5, and you got to make sure you get the signs right. So I need a minus 9 plus 5 is minus 4. Okay, so he's done. And then I got to work over here. See a plus. So I need 2 factors of 63 that add to be 16. And so that's 9 and 7. And you got to get the signs right. So I need both are minus, have the same sign as the middle term here. Alright, let's see if I can get my pen working here. That looks nice. Let's see here. Let's go pen. Make it a little fatter. Blue again. What do you think? Let's see if I can. It's probably too fat again. Oh, that's not bad. X minus 7s are gone. And the x plus 5s are gone. And the x minus 9 cancels out. Oh, all I'm left is that 4/3. Wow. Here's my answer. 4/3. Okay. I know it's a little fast, but I mean, I hope you can follow along here. Let's get the highlighter back. Let's go for the highlighter, and let's choose that one, and let's give it a color that looks like this one. Here you take. Okay. Alrighty. Well, I don't have to do any factoring on him because he's already factored. And what am I going to take out of this guy? Well, it's a GCF. So I can take a 6 out of both of those. So I take a 6 out, and I get 6 times 5 is 30. And 6 minus 1 is the minus 6. So there's that. It's another GCF. I can just take a 10 out of both of those. So that's 10 times the quantity x plus 4. There's another. This is mostly GCF here. So what can I take out? I can take out a 4. 4 goes into 25 times, and I can take out an x squared. So I always take out the lowest power here. So I took out a x squared on that one. Okay. So let's see. I'm just going to switch. See if I can have fun with my drawing here. What cancels? Well, let's see. Well, that cancels. Those cancel. Come on. And so remember this, I could have had a parentheses around that, so that just cancels out. So what do I have? I have a 6, a 10, and a 4x squared. I wrote that over here. Okay? But I can take a 2 out of the 6 and the, okay? And that gives me 3 over 20 minus x squared. So I know it's a little crude right now, but you know, hopefully you're learning something from this. Okay? So let's go into the next section. Oh, gee, I got some more for you. It's just practice makes perfect, you know. So I'm going to go for the highlighter. I'm going to get some nice happy yellow here. Alright, so I got a GCF. So let's look at just this GCF here. Well, I can take a 9 out, and I can take an x squared out, which is what I've done here. Alright. So what do I have left? Well, I have x cubed here, so I need another x. And then I got the x squared there, so all I need is a 10. So he's done. How about, well, this one's not too bad. A lot of times I start, when I do these when I was a student, I just draw a couple lines, and get ready to cancel. So I have a 7 and 35, I can take a 7 out, so 7 times 5 is 35. And then I can factor this guy up here, so I'm going to look here at the minus 45, so I need two factors of 45 whose difference is 4. So as you can see, I thought about that for a second. I got 9 times 5. Okay. We could have had 3 times 15, but that difference is, let's see, 15 minus 3 is 12, so that isn't going to work. It's the 9 and the 5. Make sure the signs are right. I need a minus 9 plus 5 is minus 4. And then the last one, we need a positive 90, two factors of 90 who add to 19. Well, that's just 9 times 2. And they're both going to have the same sign as the little one here. So now I'm getting ready to cancel again. Have fun with the pens. Let's see, what do I want to do? I want to have a pen. Let's change the color. I think the fatter is a little better. Here we go. Ready? Time to cancel. That's better. I go slower. X plus 5's gone. X minus 9's gone. X minus 10's gone. And so I have the 9x squared on top and the 7 on the bottom is my answer. Well, looks like I got carried away here, and I have a bunch for you to practice. So let's get the highlighter back. You can tell me if you don't like, the highlighter or what I'm doing. That's fine in class, or how to improve it. A lot of you are much more artistic than me. You've seen other people do things. So I'm just trying to experiment here. All right. Well, this is a GCF. It doesn't have 3 terms. It's not a quadratic. So you take out the lowest power. Is that done? And it looks like I can take a 10 out of each of those. And so 10 times 3 is 30, and 10 times 10 is 100. And I need one more x here because I have an x cubed. So x squared times x is x cubed. I don't have to do anything with him. I take a 9 out. Another GCF, I take a 9. What am I left with? Well, 9 times 5 is 45. And then I can sit here and do another GCF. What can I take out of 27 and 9? Well, 9 goes into 27 and 9 goes into 90. Okay, so 9 times 3 is 27 and 9 times 10 is 90. So it's time to change pens now. Let's see if we can get some canceling here. Let's see. Well, I have an x plus 5 here and an x plus 5 there. And I have the 3x plus 10 and 3x plus 10. 9's are gone. All I'm left with is that 10x squared. Alright, so that's basically simplifying the rational expressions. And let's see, now we have this division of polynomials using the box method. Is the second kind of problem I need you to do. We'll be using that later. So, here's the problem. So you know, the first step is to write the divisor over here. Okay? All right. Just you write the divisor here. There you go. Doesn't work up and down very well for the highlighter. Then you take the first term and you write that in the box here. Alright, now you got to say how many times does 8x squared go into 56x to the 4th? Well, you got to go through your head. 8 times 7 is the 56, and I gotta have what? I have 2x squared here, but I have x to the 4th. I need what? Some more here. So you put that on top. Then you have to multiply this all the way down the column here. So I have 7x squared times minus x, 7x cubed, and I have 7x squared to the positive 5, to the positive 35. Now, what you have to do is you have to look at right here at the 7x cubed, and you got to go up to the problem, and you got to say, how many x cubes am I trying to make? So I'm trying to make a negative 23. So you got to say to yourself, what do I add to the negative 7 to get a negative 23? And that goes right in here. Okay? So you think about that, and you get one with a negative 16. So now I have negative 7 minus 16 is minus 23. Now, the trick here is when I was doing this, I didn't know really offhand, but it's got to be divisible by this 8. So, you know, I was kind of just sitting here. First I kind of came up with 15, but then I said, wait a minute, it's got to be divisible by 8, so I went 16 was the answer. So you kind of, you know, it has to, these problems work out for you. Okay, so now I have minus 7 minus 16 is this minus 23. So now again I have to multiply down the column. Okay? So I have negative 2x times a minus x is positive 2x squared. So 2 minuses is a plus. And you have negative 2x times a positive 5 is negative 10x. Okay? Now, a little tricky here. So now I'm going to go on this one. But here I have 1, 2, 3 boxes. So I got to look at my x squareds. I have 93x squared. Ooh, okay. Well, so I have 35 plus 2. So I just really did a subtraction on that. So what's 93 minus 37? And I came up with 56. And then you got to check. Does 8 go into 56? Of course it does. And you get it right. And so how many times does 8x squared go into 56x squared? It goes in what? 7 times. And then you multiply down the column again. 7 times minus x is 7x. 7 times 5 is 35. And then we're going to add these x's together. I have minus 10, minus 7. How many x's do I need? Oh, minus 17. How much do I need there? I don't need anything. Minus 10, minus 7. So I'm done with them. And then the last one, I need a 35. And what do you know? I got a 35. See how I'm putting zeros there? So once I get those zeros, I'm done. So my answer is just what's on top there, and that's why I wrote that out. 7x squared minus 2x plus 7. Nothing cancels out. I'm going to change my pen. And this is this is a little more easier one. So as you can see, I wrote the divisor over here. I put the first term in the box here. Then I said, how many times does x go into 2x cubed? Well, you basically just, you know, figure out what you put here, so this times that is in the box, so that's 2x squared. You multiply down the column, so then 2x squared times a positive 2 is a 4x squared. And you look to see, how many x squareds do I need? I'm looking for 8. I only got 4, so I need another 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. That's how many times does x go into 4x squared? It goes 4x. Okay? Now you have to multiply down the column. 4x times 2 is 8x. Okay? Then I say, how many x's am I looking for? I'm looking for 7x. Well, I got 8, so what do I got to put over here? A minus 1. Okay? How many times does x go into minus x? Minus 1 times. Multiply down the column. Minus 1 times 2 is minus 2. That's what I had. I'm 0. I'm done with that. Just write out what's on top up there. Write out what's on top down here. Alrighty.